Steve S, Carl Z, Justin W, Ron, Tyrone T, Nick F, Mike H, Jason M, CK, and Nick G. So it's good to see Nick G back. Been here in a while. Obviously, no Dale. Dale hit the big one last. He hit the Rob Blake, a huge hit. We've had some big hits lately. Rob Blake. We had Bondra and the Miracle on Sunday. The 1980 Team USA custom signed by Jim Craig and Mike Ruzioni with the 80 gold medal inscription. That was really cool. I think and last week we had Dylan Larkin. I mean, we've had some nice suff hit. The Patrick Kane. So we've had a lot of monsters. So hopefully, good luck if more monsters will come out. Buffalo's success. You know what it is. They've done a pretty good job of developing players, or maybe not developing, but drafting or signing. And like I said, like obviously Ryan O'Reilly didn't start there, but obviously he ended up there, and obviously he moved on. He's from St. Louis, so he was there to win a cup in his hometown. You know, Jack Eichel was the pick behind, Sidney Crosby. Obviously, that's gonna, weigh heavily on anybody. So the expectations were there, but yeah, so that's right. Oh, you're seeing Kenny Morrow. That's cool. I'm glad that you're able to add to that fantastic jersey. Add the Ken Moore. Like I said, Ken Moore is a went from the Stanley Cup, win the gold medal in Team 80 USA, and then 4 straight cups. That was absolutely insane. The dude didn't know how to lose for like 5 straight years. Ken Moore. Like I said, yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't know if, you look at that roster, he would probably had the best NHL career. I would say that Ken Moore obviously won 4 cups. I don't think anybody else from that team won cups. I know Dave Christian had a pretty long, pretty distinguished career. I don't think anybody else really can. I mean, obviously Dave Silk. Ruzioni. I don't think he ever played. Obviously, Jim Craig only played a couple games with a couple different franchises. He was with Boston and Calgary, I think, but most of that team, they were college kids that put together a perfect run. Obviously, they believed what their coach was telling them, Herb Brooks, and they got it done. Like I said, I mean, sometimes you got things just to go your way. So, like I said, he definitely won the gold medal and then straight to 4 cups, which is pretty impressive. Like Ken Moore, like you said, obviously he wasn't the best of the defensemen on that Isles team. Obviously, that's Potvin, but who's in the boxes, so you guys are chasing that too. But he was a good, solid defenseman, and he definitely did well in the pros. So I would say he probably accomplished the most out of anybody from the 1980 Team USA team. But that was pretty cool. Like I said, it's good when you get those products. I'm always hunting for cool stuff from you, for you guys chasing the boxes. In fact, I think I do have another one of those. I have to go through my stuff I have for the upcoming reloads, but of course I wasn't thinking of it because it was still boxed up. But I think I might have another Craig Ruzioni. I'm almost positive. So, but like I said, I want to let you guys know. Make the announcement today. Just to let you guys know, I'm going to make the Tampa Bay Lightning Stanley Cup legend Kevin Shattenkirk a trigger box. So if we hit Shattenkirk, I will open up another box completely free. So just so you guys know, be rooting for your spots or the Shattenkirk. If Shattenkirk hits, and I'll open up another box. So just to let you guys know, we've had that before. We've had trigger boxes. We had one trigger box that took a long time to hit. We had one trigger box that was hit almost immediately. Of course, your odds of Shattenkirk hitting are 1 in 39 right now. Is just like every other box. But if Shattenkirk does hit, Shat Deuces comes out, sees the light of day, I will open another box completely for free. So that's fun for you guys. So basically, every one of your spots, you get a second chance at hitting your spot if Shattenkirk hits. So that's just fun. Obviously, just to give back to me to you guys. Obviously, it's kind of like having the Shattenkirk in the box with whatever else we're going to hit that night. So Shattenkirk is a trigger box that will stay. That will not change no matter how many boxes we get down to, no matter how many boxes we get back up to. As of right now, Shattenkirk is our trigger box. I have a Shattenkirk in my PC. Like I said, he scored one of the biggest goals in the Tampa Bay Lightning Stanley Cup run. It was huge. And so I'm always going to be near and dear to him. Obviously, he bounced around a couple places, but he was the Rangers. And, like I said, I'm more than happy to have him be the trigger box. So Shattenkirk hits, another box will be open. We'll just random for another one right after that. So it'd be the same numbers, whatever we hit. Shattenkirk, if it's like 7 randoms, 10 randoms, whatever the same amount, we'll do the same amount of randoms that Shattenkirk is, just to keep things kind of easy. If it's 12 times, we'll do 12 times again for the second box. So, like I said, I mean, just make sure everybody knows. I know a lot of you guys don't listen with sound, or if you're not paying attention. But if you're confused, if Shattenkirk does show up, we will open up a second box completely at free. So that's kind of my give back to you guys. So we'll see how that goes. Other than that, like I said, Friday was huge. Yeah, that's three. They wouldn't as the same thing. Like I said, they're talking about Gonchar. Gonchar won, I think, one as a player, and I think he won 2 now as a coach with the Pens, and obviously he's not in the Hall of Fame yet. So, and like I said, our Hall of Fame was a nice stacked bunch this year. We had some great first timers, and I'm glad that they all got in. Joe Thornton, getting in with obviously getting in with the Stanley Cup, the Hall of Famers that got in. It was such a good class, and it was lovely to see. It was good to see McGillney finally get in after 17 years. Long overdue. Obviously, whether or not you feel his numbers warranted, obviously he played, some of his time in Russia. Obviously, he was during an era too when these guys missed a couple years from work stoppages. Obviously the 1 year that they were playing in Europe. So I mean, it's good to see him finally get into the Hall. Like I said, it was a good batch. There's no qualms with the selections. So it's the ones that went in. Dougie Keith, obviously, was well deserved with his Norris Trophy win and the Stanley Cups. So it was good to see. Good to see him get in. So you knew they were going to take too many defensemen. So I'm still hoping that maybe Gonchar gets in over the next couple of years. Obviously, if there's kind of a lull, if there's they need to put somebody in that year where it looks a little lean. We'll say, like I said, I haven't even seen who's eligible for next season, but obviously people are still rooting for certain players like Cujo. People are still rooting for guys like Keith Kachuk. These guys just obviously carry prices now at that list after not getting in this year. So these guys are probably close. If they win, if they get in next year or the year after. We'll see how that goes. So, like I said, let's get going. Just one box tonight. These spots are live on eBay. Whatever hits tonight, of course, I'll end that. And I'll be sending stuff out either tomorrow or Saturday, probably Saturday. The stuff that hit on Sunday and hit yesterday and today, or Tuesday and today. So we'll see how that goes. Let's get going with my randoms. Where is it? My dice roller. My lists. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, like always, we do 5 or more on our dice roll. The boxes are all here in order, of course. 60, the only one from last year. Then we have 2. Then we have 2, 2, 3, 4, like 8 maybe, and then obviously we have, I think, 2, 1 from the reloads. There we go, all the way up to 32. Obviously on the table there's 24, and then 15 on the shelf. So good luck. 39 boxes. Let's see. Good luck, everybody. 5 or more on our dice. Let me see. We got 5. 5 times. Easy enough. 5 times our lists. Good luck, everybody. See what we got. See what monster shows. Or Shattenkirk. 39 boxes. 2, 3, 4. And the box we're going to open tonight is going to be box number 25. 25 is in the reload. 25. 5 times box 25. Okie dokes. Okay. Let me back that out. Easy enough. Okay. Make my notes. Box 25. Okay. Got my lists. Okay. A bunch of people in this. Like I said, there's, you're looking at 3, 6, 12, 15, 19 of the 20 reload jerseys are still live. Let's see what we got. Box number 25. Of course, it's right here. There we go. 14 on the shelf. Box 25. There we go. There we go. Good luck, everybody. My lists. Where's my lists? Okay. Let's see what we got. Said we're now down to 38 for Sunday. So make sure you get your bids in at your leisure. Have a couple days to get that in there. Friday, Saturday, and then all day Sunday. So get your bids in. Like I said, these are the best eBays last week and this week to get your spots as cheap as possible. So here's your time to hit. Box 25, though, will not be available. It is going to be, okay, no longer there, but here it is. Just a beautiful jersey. Oliver Ekman Larson, Arizona Coyotes, the Desert Dogs, the Screaming Coyotes, obviously now the Utah. There it is, Oliver Ekman Larson, AJ COA, Oliver Ekman Larson, Adidas Pro. There it is. Oh, such a beautiful. Look at that. With the C. Oliver Ekman Larson. I forgot I had the C on it. The Howlin' Coyote. There it is. Beautiful Adidas Pro. Of course, fight straps. Fight strap. There we go. I can't find it. There it is. Fight strapped up. Pro model Oliver Ekman Larson. The Howlin' Coyote. For anybody that doesn't have Howlin' Coyote, obviously they're getting a little tougher to find. You don't see them as much anymore. With the paw print, with the A for Arizona, this is no longer the Phoenix Coyotes. They changed to the Arizona Coyotes. And there it is. Oliver Ekman Larson, Blue Ink Sig. Very, very nice. I know a lot of you guys are trying to complete leagues, even though Arizona technically doesn't count. So I'm always on the lookout for Arizona because I know a lot of you don't have Phoenix, Arizona Coyote jerseys in your PCs. I have a Doan similar to this. But, congratulations on the Oliver Ekman Larson. Let's see who that is. Oliver Ekman Larson goes to Derek. Congratulations, Derek. Coming out of the woodwork, coming out of left field, hitting the Ekman Larson. OEL is the winner tonight. So there you go. Congratulations. Like I said, we haven't had Derek. He hasn't won in quite some time. So it's good to see some of you guys hitting off the schneid. Obviously, Dale hit the big Rob Blake Tuesday, and Derek comes through with the OEL on Thursday. So there we go. Congratulations, Derek. Sorry for everybody, of course, it did not hit. Your odds this Sunday have actually gotten better now. 1 in 38 and 1 in 37 are 2 boxes on Sunday. So looking forward to everybody's bids on Sunday. Looking forward to seeing what we hit. Like I said, lots of monsters still in there. 18 reload jerseys still in there. So definitely chase your new stuff, chase your old stuff. Make sure you get your spots. And, of course, the Shattenkirk stays the trigger box. So Shattenkirk hits, another box will open completely at free. So if you don't hit your spot, root for Shattenkirk. That's going to be the deal. So congratulations again to Derek. Very, very nice OEL. I think he's actually trying to complete the league, too. I don't think he had a Coyotes jersey. So congratulations to him. Thank you much, everybody. I will look forward to seeing you guys on Sunday. Enjoy your next couple of days, whatever you may be doing. A draft. We got a draft. So we can talk about that when we get back on Sunday. But enjoy it tomorrow. Enjoy it on Saturday. I'm not going to tune in much on Saturday, second and third. Obviously, there's some major players. That was some big stars. Obviously, Braden Point, was later rounds, second and third rounds. Kucherov, second, third round. So if your GM knows what they're doing, your scouting department is top notch. Of course, you're going to pick up some big players in those second, third, fourth rounds. So it's worth watching if you have your team to see who they take. It's going to be tougher and a little less time between picks if you watch in the second and third round. But tomorrow should be fun, even though it's not as a big wide spectacle as it has been in the past. But it's still going to be fun from TV purposes. So thank you much, guys. Enjoy the draft tomorrow. We'll talk about it on Sunday. Waffleboard Breaks is out of here. Take care, guys.